welcome back to K-Talk. I'm your host, Mel.
And I'm Uma. Welcome back, everyone. On today's after show, we are sharing our final thoughts on When the Phone Rings, episodes 7 to 12.
Yeah.
So you know you always say, yeah.
Because I don't know where to begin, especially with this show.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
So anyways, episode 7 is he's using the hospital after her accident. And right out the gate is just so annoying.
This whole show, the second half has been annoying.
But this, like when she's in the hospital, okay, and she goes to sleep.
Okay.
And then he steps out. And then she immediately calls him from the phone.
Yes.
The blackmailer phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there thinking, how did he know that she was going to wake up if he left her sleeping to call him?
I think at this point they have a standing appointment to call each other at like 10 or something. It was very annoying. I couldn't figure it out either.
But he left her sleeping. So that's what I was
So
confused
I think he
about.
went for some air. He knows it's her at this point. Like the jig is up. We know. But I'm thinking he just went to the rooftop or whatever.
As well. The fact that he knows it's her. She knows he knows it's her. I don't understand why they're continuing it. And then... Yeah.
Well, no, right at 7 though, he knows. She still doesn't know because remember he was like when she fell off the cliff and everything, he was acting like he was talking to the kidnapper, but really it was her. At this point, when she calls him, now that he knows it's fully her, like he's almost kind of like flirting with her as well, and she's getting like annoyed with the situation. But episode 7 is where he finally admits, and she feels like, oh, I wanna let you know that this is what I've been doing. This is my secret, essentially. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think that's the one where he takes her through the amusement park and all that stuff. And then she wants to say, hey, it's me. And he's like, I've been knowing it's you.
And that's the thing. Even with the whole amusement park thing, again, the fact that she was still having doubts of like, oh my God, does he know it's me? Even though he
knows it's you.
You know what I mean?
Everybody knows it's you.
Like,
she just didn't want to accept it.
Yeah.
Either way, I honestly, it just even ruined that reveal for me. Like, I was just so over it. I'm like, this is not well done. Like, you guys think we're idiots at this point. Like, you're playing in our face. Yeah. So I kind of was just like, can we get to the mystery of it all?
I mean, it's like, just to keep the whole kidnapper phone thing going, it's like, it just started to not make sense. And they didn't care at all.
And I'm so glad when they finally, I can't remember again if it was like 7 or episode 8, when they finally put that phone to bed. And he was like, that's it. I know who you are. We've shared our secret with one another. Let's keep it moving from here.
Yeah.
All right. Then a bunch of stuff happens. Somehow, yet again, she's kidnapped. I feel like she's been kidnapped like 700 times at this point.
Yeah.
And each time she gets away without a scratch. Like, it's wrapped up really quickly.
Yeah.
It's not really as suspenseful as we were hoping it would be. Yeah. I don't know. I was just annoyed with the entire second half. Like, before we even got to that ridiculous final episode, like, I just wanted the mystery to start unraveling. Like, I didn't care that they liked each other. This was the first time that I didn't even care. Like, I wasn't even thinking to myself, oh my God, like, when are they going to have their first kiss? And, when are we going to see the romance of it all? And even that was kind of fell flat for me.
Yeah. And that's why I think I really enjoyed actually episodes 9 and 10. Because it was all more so about the mystery, finding out what happened to the kids and all of that. But what did you think about her sister coming back initially and then how it played out?
I found her character to be useless. She did nothing for me. In fact, you know what? I have beef with the entire supporting cast of this show. Nobody was doing what they were supposed to do. None of their side stories was gripping for me. Like, I thought the sister was come back. I thought she was going to cause trouble or sincerely be on her side, and we got to see their relationship and their bond grow. I mean, we kind of a little bit stronger.
It was that.
No, up until the final episode, to be honest, I felt like we were all like, the sister, like, everything was ambiguous when it came with her. Like, we couldn't tell. Does she mean well? Is she stirring the pot?
Yeah.
It was very vague, and I didn't like that. Like, I don't like being on the fence because she's not doing enough for me to be like, I can clearly see she's going to be a villain. Or, she's 100% on Heeju's side and being a big sister and helping her unravel this mystery. Yeah, but she wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, I think initially she did come back to kind of stir the pot and be like, oh, I got something on your man that you don't know. Like, you know what I mean? But then,
even with that though, it was presented in a way that like, oh, I want to tell you that this man is not who you think he is. Not because she wanted her sister to be lonely or break up the marriage just for shits and giggles. She actually thought she was looking out for her. And this girl's like, know that now. I'm we're past it.
Yeah.
We're past it. So the sister, useless to me. You know who else was useless?
Who?
The anchor lady.
Yuri's been useless to me since the very beginning. I was like, what is her purpose? And come to find out, her whole purpose was literally just to marry Sang-woo.
Thank you. Also, Sang-woo, useless.
I actually like Sang-woo's like story and his and whatever and what he was doing and trying to find the children and they were kids that he like. I guess that kind of made a little bit of sense.
Even that one was bullshit, though. He wasn't doing enough.
But it was blah, yeah.
It was so blah. Like, he really didn't add to the story. Yeah. It's not like he unraveled the mystery. Like, Seon was one step ahead of him all the time.
Yeah.
He didn't really he never had a breakthrough. Yeah. Again, he's useless. The sister, the anchor lady, Sang-woo's character, fillers. Yeah. All fillers for me.
Yeah. And then the main characters are not even doing much either.
They kept going in circles. Like there was no proper movement. I don't know. And then the fathers, again, useless. Nobody's story was good enough and gripping enough for me in this show. Like, it's like all the supporting cast was just
but it's like, the writers just weren't writing at all.
Literally, I think they just kind of like,
it had so much potential and it just fell flat. Like I think that's my problem with this show is like initially going into it, I thought it was going to be this dark, mature romance. And then it just turned into,
it's going to be a little bit thrilling. Like we were going to get the romance. We were going to get the mystery. Yeah. We got none of that. Everything was lukewarm. Yeah. Like everything was just mid and meh.
And then the whole thing of the dad orchestrating that whole accident to happen because he's seen young Seon, the boy seen. It's like,
first of all, he doesn't even have like permanent memory yet. And that kid looked like he was like 2 or 3 years old.
Okay, if you wanted to get rid of the boy, why did you have to potentially kill the whole family?
Well, it was an accident. He didn't give a fuck. That granddad, his dad / grandpa, whatever, that old man, seriously was just doing nonsensical things. I mean, he thought he had drowned his own grandkids. So why do you think he cares about like family friends? Yeah, children of like close family friends.
The mom. Real Seon's
that
mom.
Was a bit of a twist.
She annoys me because she tries to act like, oh my God, my son, I'm so happy for you to come back type of thing. But why didn't you run away with your kid when those talks started circling of like, oh, we need to do something about this kid. We need to get rid of him. Like, I feel like if you truly loved your son as a mom, I would disappear with my kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And how about maybe, I don't know,
go to Switzerland or something and put him in a, you know what I mean, a facility where at least you can see your kid.
He's properly being looked after, because I don't think that's something you can fix. Yeah. Somebody being like a sociopath. Like, I don't think you can fix that. She knew her kid. Like, and then knowing that, what I didn't like was she knew her kid had killed all these orphan children. And her only thought was, let me lock him away in the basement. And then the grandfather was like, no, I'm going to take him.
How do we get rid of him and just get
all together? Because it's too stressful. Like, she literally, like, what was her thinking? Was she going to keep up her kid locked up his whole life in the basement?
And when everyone knows they do have a son. Yeah. So what? Exactly. I think that's why the grandfather stepped in, because he's like, everyone knows you guys have a son. There's no way
that we could put him in a facility, because then people are going to be like, why is he there? Yeah. And he can't be let loose out into the world because he's just out here killing people.
Because at the end of the day, I don't care. And you did all of that just to keep your status and your name and all of that. And then when he came out and you've seen him.
When she discovers that her kid is alive, again, enabling him. Because I love you, so I'm going to let you kidnap Hee-ju. I'm going to let you just run around and be a menace to everyone.
And then
but then she was sick herself because, hello. But again, that was maybe interesting for like 5 minutes. It didn't make the show any better for me, especially the second half.
You know what's crazy? The more I watched, it's like, I completely understand where real Seon's coming from. I would be angry too, but the only problem was his anger was misdirected. It shouldn't have been on the new Seon. It should have been completely towards the dad, the mom. You know what I mean? But I understand. Imagine you being a kid and then you're literally removed, and this new person comes and takes your entire identity, your entire life, and you're just locked away.
Yeah, and they thought you were dead. Yeah. I understand crazy Seon.
Yeah.
He has every right to be angry. But yeah, again, we found that out. We find out that Seon, the fake Seon, I guess.
Yeah.
His secretary misunderstood, thought he was the real Seon, wanted revenge for his twin brother that he killed as a kid. All of that, again, anticlimactic. I was just like,
yeah. And
it's supposed to be a big reveal, but...
And then also... you see that scene where he's going into the hospital room to see Dojae, and he's basically saying, it's one thing you came for me, but you came for Heeju, and basically that's unforgivable. But then you see he's out, and you made up with him.
Yep.
Again, doesn't make sense. This guy apparently almost killed the love of your life. And now...
That's the problem with this show. First of all, he admitted to plotting and initially working with the kidnapper, right? The time jump is only 6 months. So
how is he already out, first of all?
Exactly. Like nothing, there were so many plot holes in the second half. Like nothing was making sense. And then as if like, because they kind of knew like, okay, his mom's a little crazy. The kidnapper for sure is nuts. Dojae like misunderstood. He's not really evil. He's just been wanting, revenge for his little brother that was killed.
But also, I would love to see an actual conversation thing. How did they make up? How did that come about? Because the fact that he just shows up. How could he even
get out of jail in 6 months' time? None of this makes sense. And as if, like, when the whole mystery and everything was unraveled, it was like, okay, clearly it wasn't a big deal. And out of nowhere, now we're going to take you to a war zone. Because, we just cannot end on a good note.
Yeah.
Kidnapper, caught, dead, whatever happened to him, he got shot. Dojae, he's going to free up after 6 months because he's remorseful, and this was all a big misunderstanding on his part. Crazy psycho mom locked up.
Like attempted murder, and he's out within 6 months. Like,
none of it was making sense.
Yeah.
At this point, I was just hate watching it, and I'm like, what is happening?
And then can we talk about how Heeju was on this like suicide mission? There were like 2 times. First of all, when she was in the car with real Seon.
Yeah.
What were you gonna do? Commit just to kill him? I'm like, girl,
right? That's like what, the second car crash?
My whole thing was like, I'm like, girl, he just told you he liked you a week ago. Is this the type of love you want to die for? Is this the love you want to die for?
Heeju is all about my man, my man, my man. Okay, because my girl jumped on a plane all willy nilly to go to a war-torn country. Like a war was going on. She loves this man deep.
And then come to find out, he's over there playing Batman, saving hostages. And
left, right, and center. Fine. He probably has a team. I don't care. He was, in the beginning, prior to him being a spokesperson for the president, he was a negotiator. This is his line of work that he just went back to. I get that part. But what I want to understand is he probably has a team that he's working with. He's probably working with the Korean government, whatever. What I don't understand is this one who literally thought, I'm going to go to Argonne like it's a vacation destination. Like,
don't judge me, but I literally Googled if Argonne was a real place.
Why would you?
I don't know why, but then...
Why would you?
I was so annoyed. Did you legit think that was is this a real place anyways?
No way.
But I did.
Oh, God.
And obviously, all I seen
they always do that.
All I seen was argan oil and stuff came up.
Dear
so
God, I can't believe you.
I was like, I knew I wasn't stupid. I'm like, I know this doesn't exist. This is not a real place. But anyways, yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, it was so dumb. And my favorite part is literally, this is how you know how unserious they were. My favorite part is she finally gets to this country and goes to the deaf, the school for deaf, the center that she somehow donated all this money to. She goes and she's like, basically saying like, have you seen Seon? And the guy's like, nobody donated this in person. It was anonymous, whatever. And then she was like, where can I see the sunset? As if there's one designated place that you could see the sunset, like whatever. Again, like it's a tourist spot.
Yeah.
Like a tourist hotspot, okay? That's the weird thing. Then he was like, I don't know. And she's like, the beautiful sunset, whatever. And then he was just like, oh my God, you must mean the chapel, such and such. She's like, yeah, great. Okay. Cut to the next scene. She's hiding behind some trees, okay? Because, okay, out of nowhere, okay? We don't see how she gets there. Did she call an Uber? Did she catch a ride with someone? Is there public transportation working?
In the middle, right?
We don't know. We just see, boom, her in the middle of the forest, literally ducking behind trees and shit, okay? Because she's going to a chapel now, the scarf that was around her neck is on Granny's. Like, what the fuck was that supposed to do? So now it's on Granny style, because what? Like, are we going to be a little respectful and modest? We're going into a church, so we have to cover our hair. Like, I really did not understand.
I don't understand that.
The thing behind that. But she has no purse with her, no phone, not even a single water bottle. Yeah. Like, what are we doing here? Somehow makes it to however she came to the forest, has been dodging rebels left, right, and center. Then you see the rebel car go by. Yeah. And then boom, just as she walks by that big handy dandy sign that said whatever chapel. Yeah. Boom, the rebels catch her.
Yeah. I think
who thought this was okay?
The worst part for me was his lame ass excuse. I had to punish myself. Oh my God. You had nothing to do with this, sir. This was literally your fake grandfather and dad. Like, what are you punishing? And on top of that, what pissed me off is, like, you claim to love this girl so much, and she literally has nobody but you, and you just abandon her for like 6 months. She has no clue where you are. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like,
and is being distant from her really that much of like, you don't like her, so that's where the punishment's coming from? Or because what your dad did was so fucked up, and he killed her little brother, tried to kill her and her sister, but that was your dad though, and we knew that man was stupid. He tried to kill his own grandkid. So what makes you think, again, he cares about Hee-ju and her brother? Like, it didn't even make sense. It wasn't, and nobody ever blamed you. And she's been knowing. She's been knowing about this.
That was also stupid, because even the reasoning was so dumb to me. It's like, so you abandoned this girl you apparently love so much? Okay.
So dumb, right? And then the tomfoolery continues, because now she gets snatched up and she's a hostage. Yeah. With a bunch of other random people that are hostages too. So the rebels are really on their job. They're just scooping people up left, right, and center.
And who are these people? Are they tourists? Are they?
We don't know. Yeah. Are they from the country? Yeah. You know, I don't know. But yeah, then he coincidentally is saving hostages out here. Hee-ju turns out to be one of them. He snatches her up. My question is, was he on the ground with a team? Because who was fighting the rebels while he was snatching up and freeing the hostages?
You just did this on your own? Like, exactly.
So dumb. And then he's like, oh shit, it's Hee-ju. He takes her personally in his car. Then they skirt, drive 2 seconds away.
Even before that, the most cringiest, it was so cringy to me. When they're just standing in front, she's like, I can't even touch you right now. I'm like, what?
Oh, when they get out of the car, and
he takes her out of the car. And he's like, I'm holding myself back. I can't even touch you
right
now.
Oh my God, it was so cheesy. Oh my God, and then here's the thing that bothers me, okay? You're literally being pursued by rebels, okay? You just quickly make a little turn behind a bush, essentially, because then we see them driving by, right? Yeah. To show us they're clearly very much still in danger, okay? And before the whole I'm holding back and whatever, they crouch down because they're hiding from the rebels. She's crouched in front of him. He's literally talking to her back, and I'm like, are these people normal? And then they get up and proceed to have an argument full volume. Where are the rebels? You guys are in danger. So I was like, none of this is making sense. It's not.
And then apparently that whole situation had their juices going.
Literally, because I'm convinced she literally hopped on a plane to get some D. Because how?
In that moment, that would be the last thing on my mind. Where's your anger, sis? He literally left you. That's the last thing.
It was enough to be I was punishing myself. I told you I would come back for you. You should have waited for me. All of that. It's sad to say, but it was not doing It was not hitting the way that the writers thought it was going to hit. We did not need this epic battle, whatever, to realize that they deeply love each other and they would, you know, go through hell and back to be with one another. Like, yeah, okay, we get it. Like, it's intense. But you know what I would have liked? I would have liked the last episode to be kind of a year in their life with the seasons changing, because the whole time, what has Hee-ju been daydreaming about? What has he been daydreaming about? Just living a normal life with one another. That little Christmas daydream that she had where they're, you know, decorating the tree together. Like, it would have been fine.
Even those random dream scenes.
It's how they want it to be. I get it. So why couldn't you give us like a full episode of maybe, you know, them throughout the 4 seasons in the year, just living their normal, like how they did with that little dinner party at the end. Yeah. I would have liked to see that. We don't need to go to war. We don't need, you know, extreme circumstances to realize that these people like really care about each other. I think they were running out of material at this point, and it would have been great. You could have ended it at episode 10, because if you take out all the nonsense, was 11 and 12 really needed?
Yeah, no, not really. And it was already a shorter one. But I'll say this. I like the fact that Sang-woo didn't turn into a weirdo. Like, I don't know what it is. I think it's just his face just looks like he's always up to something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm so glad, like, even when he found out about them, that he didn't become weird with Hee-ju. You know, because you know he liked her, right?
He did like her, and apparently, surprise, surprise, he's been knowing this entire time that she can actually talk. Yeah. So that wasn't shocking to him. Like, he was unproblematic. He was just doing his little assignment, trying to uncover all these murders at the orphanage.
And I'm glad he got his closure as well.
He got his closure. Yeah. They were his friends. Like, you know, it mattered to him. Like, I love that.
And I think that's why I enjoyed 9 and 10 a lot, because it was more so focused on that and the mystery and all of that. But the rest of it, they could have kept it.
They could have. The way they made the anchor lady look so obsessed with Seon in the beginning, and then how quickly she just accepted, oh, he's married to Hee-ju. Like,
and knowing that she was just sticking around this whole time because she was going to marry him at the end.
Not only, was he her mentor, but she genuinely, you could tell, like, had a thing for him. Yeah. So the way that she got over that really quickly, again.
And then now they're all just, that was boring. They're all friends.
They're all bored. Exactly. And then conveniently, well, I wouldn't blame her. Sang-woo's cute, but still, they ended up being together. Like, but the way she was so into Seon at the beginning, like, and she just forgot about it. You would think she would feel
some type of way.
A little bit of tension,
or feel some type of way about Hee-ju now, finding out that she's his wife.
Yeah, like, something, right? Again, it wasn't adding up. You know, the sister just being like, I really want us to be best friends, and forgive me for the past, and I knew you were not talking because of me. Like, everything was just not hitting the way it was supposed to hit.
Like I said, it could have been so good.
I know, the first few episodes, I was like, oh, this is gonna be such a good show, and it was just such a disappointment towards the end. Yeah, I was like, no. Even Hee-ju's mom, like, she didn't change. Her dad, he's been knowing the entire time that this man tried to kill your kids and successfully killed your son.
And then why would you want to marry into that said
your
family?
Daughter into that family? Like,
is it because he has the upper hand? If you think about it, he has the upper hand in the situation. You killed my kids, so like he could have got a lot out of them without. It's like, why would you want to marry into?
His family is not the one that's political. They own like a newspaper, so. Even business wise, like, what did he really need from the grandfather? Like, just to be connected to somebody who might be potentially like a president
to one day,
like,
that killed your kid.
I don't know. It just didn't. I don't know.
There's a lot of things that didn't add up and didn't make sense, and a lot of unnecessary
it just fell
things
flat.
That were,
so excited. Like, I've never seen.
It's the most disappointing drama of 2024.
I know. For real, right? And I thought it was going to end. Everybody was like, oh my God, this is going to be
it's
the best drama.
It's up there with Dear Harry. So,
I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad, but it's, they're both disappointing. It started at such high expectations. Like, it just went from 100 to 0.
It was such high expectations for me, and that's why I'm so disappointed. And I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. What are you giving it?
You are so nice. I'm just going to give it 5 because, I don't know, I really liked the first 4 episodes, I guess, when the whole story was, you know, the premise was being shared. But other than that, I was like, over it. I give it a 5.
And who would you say is the star of the series? Nobody.
There's nobody that stood out for me.
No one stood out for me either. The fact that
I don't know. You know what? The moment of the show, forget a star of the show. The moment of the show is when that scene that was making you cringe so hard. He's never looked hotter to me. When he's wearing all the bulletproof vest and the tight black tee and the little mask thing, and he's in that element. He's a negotiator.
Okay.
I feel like that's the best he's looked the entire show.
The thing is,
so that was my favorite part, I guess.
It didn't do anything for me. And mind you, this man is from, when you see his role in Mr. Sunshine, like he oozes sex. So it's like, I just wasn't even feeling any of that.
Because everything else was so ridiculous. But I'm saying, like, if I had to. That's why
I couldn't take it serious. And because in that moment of him wearing that, he did some cringy shit.
Well, that's before he...
You know what I mean?
Well, that's before he started speaking. So this was just him being silent and been over it, so I
just lost all type of anything.
Those are the only 2 memorable parts for me. Was one when he's wearing that outfit, and the very last part where you find out like he's back to being a negotiator, just the suit, the sunglasses. He just looked sexy. But
what was that part about? Them flirting? Was that...
You're like, I'm so over them.
When he was flirting with her as, like, they were having that conversation as the blackmailer.
That's their bit.
Because he was calling her.
That's their bit. That's it. It gets them going. Don't question it. That's how they flirt. Okay.
Like, give me a break. And
that's them role playing. It gets them excited. It does whatever
gets them going, I guess.
But yeah, other than that, honestly, I was just like, everything was underwhelming with this show.
Yeah.
And nothing really stood out for me.
I am personally glad it's over.
Yeah, but you're like, toodaloo.
On to the next.
Indeed. Well, that's a little rant for today. If you enjoyed this week's after show, let us know what you thought in the comments. And as usual, give us a review. Make sure you follow. And have a great week. Bye.
Bye.